even when the world is crazy and you might be stressed about your uni projects or work or something, when you pull onto the rock, all you have to focus on is what the next move is and how much force you have to put through your fingers and your feet and how you're going to do the next moves. And for me, that just causes me to forget everything else that's going on. My name's Kadi. I'm originally from the Blue Mountains, but now I live in Sydney, and I am a rock climber.
My name's Harrison, and I live in the Blue Mountains, and I've been climbing for about 2 years now. I've
done gymnastics my entire life, and I've always been told that rock climbing is like a good sport to do after you do rock climbing, because it's after you do gymnastics, because it just the skills transfer over really well. And so when I stopped gymnastics, I tried rock climbing for the first time. One of my friends decided to take me out climbing in Mount Victoria, and basically we just went every weekend since.
My story is a bit different to Harry's. For a few years before me, Harry had been climbing kind of religiously, and then I met Harry at uni, and one day he said he was going to go climbing, and I thought, oh, I've done that before as a kid. I remember being, all right at it, and I went. I was hooked, and I've been basically every week since then.
I climb mostly because it's super enjoyable. I like the feeling of being on the rock and being outside.
It's just fun. There's something like primally fun about getting to the top of some kind of set route that's supposed to be hard for you.
I like pushing myself and trying really hard, and even though it seems like a really pointless sport because you're just climbing up a rock, it's not really you're not achieving anything, you're just climbing up a rock. I think it's really fun.
I've never come across a sport that it's so clear to see your progression.
And I really like the social enjoyment I get out of it. A lot of my friends are in rock climbing, and so we can go out and do this cool stuff together and go to places that no one else gets to go to. What do you reckon, Willow?
Pretty good, eh, bro?
We're at the crag called Wave Wall, which is in part of Centennial Glenn in the Blue Mountains. And the climb we went to do today was called the Tube, which is graded 24. The Tube is what many climbers call a bouldery route, where it's not very long. It's only 10 meters long. Many climbs are, up to 40 meters long in a single pitch. The moves are harder, and it's not so much about endurance. It's just about pulling a couple of hard moves. That's what gives it the grade. The main thing about the Tube that's difficult is just the lack of good footholds, so good places to put your feet while you're climbing. I've always seen that route at that crag, which is a really popular crag, and I've climbed lots of other routes at the same location. And I've always been a little bit nervous to try it because I didn't want to fall off, because I watched all my friends do it and not fall off. And I guess in a competitive and kind of way, I wanted to be the same and just as strong as them. At that time, it was well and truly out of reach. I would have had pretty much no chance, so I've kind of saved it to a point where I felt like I could pretty much do it first go. All good? It's really cool. Probably now. Oop. Cool, take there. Nice. Yeah, woo!
I think Harry spoke a bit about how every time he went to wave wall and just around that crag, he kind of saw the tube as this kind of end goal to showcase how far he'd come since he started climbing. And I guess I'm still in the process of doing that.
For me, it's a really rewarding experience because it just helps me see firsthand just how far I've progressed in the sport over the last couple of years.
Seeing Harry today was kind of inspiring because obviously I'm still in kind of the infancy stages of my climbing, but it was so cool to see someone who's gone through that and been able to accomplish this thing that they've had their mind set on for so long. And it was cool to see how calm he was on the wall. Even if I could do those moves, which I'm not certain I could, it would be a very different situation with, you know, the amount of swearing and yelling and carrying on I do compared to Harry's, you know, calm, collected nature of climbing. So hopefully one day I'm at that level where I can, you know, accomplish this thing that I've been trying to for so long.
Luckily I was able to do it first go, which was pretty exciting, and it wasn't too hard in the end. I was a little bit worried about some of the sequences that I didn't really know how they would work from the ground, but once I got on the cliff it all flowed pretty naturally, and yeah, it's really fun. Today I was a little bit nervous to get on the route because I didn't want to fall off, because I built it up in my head to be a big thing, even though it's not really. It's just a random piece of rock, but to me that random piece of rock did have a bit of meaning, and I did want to do that first try.